Hello, welcome back to my channel, The Better Period. I'm Ellie, if you haven't seen me before. In this video, I wanted to share with you my period story and how that led me to starting The Better Period. And once I share my period story, I would love if you can share with me your period story as well in the comments below. Okay, my period story. I don't know about you, but I got my first period when I was about 14 years old, so I was in year 8 at school. I was one of those teenagers who was awkward about talking about any of that kind of thing. I hated talking about my body and periods and sex and anything like that. I was very embarrassed, didn't want to talk about it. So basically I knew, like, my mum had given me some pads and a spare pair of undies, and they were in the bottom of my school bag, so I had them there ready for when my period would arrive in case it would so unfortunately arrive while I was at school, which of course it did, but I was prepared because I had all the goodies in my bag. I pretty much just went home that afternoon and I was really embarrassed, but I said to my mum, "Mum, I got my period," and then she pretty much just sorted me out with pads for the rest of the time that I was a teenager living under her roof. And that's basically it. Like, I didn't embrace my period at all. I didn't talk about it. I didn't pay any attention to it. I honestly could not even tell you, if it was regular or if I got period pain or anything. I cannot remember at all, which is kind of sad. Like, I wish that I could remember what my period was like when I first got it, but it just wasn't a focus of mine at all. I wasn't interested in it. When I was a teenager, I had really horrendous acne, and I ended up going on a acne drug called Roaccutane. When I finished the course of the Roaccutane, I came off it and my skin was still clear, but then I think I started to get a few more spots come back, and I was at the age where going on the contraceptive pill was an option, so that was prescribed to me. I think I was about 17 years old. I went on the contraceptive pill, and one of the side effects of the contraceptive pill is that it helps with acne. That's why I originally went on the contraceptive pill, but then because I was getting older, I just ended up staying on the pill for contraceptive purposes. Once I got on the contraceptive pill, I could then control my periods. I hated having my period, so it was really awesome to be able to know when my period was coming, and if I didn't want to have my period, I would just skip that last placebo week and I just go straight on and continue on taking the pill. I knew that when you're on the pill, the period that you have in that placebo week is not actually a real period, it's a withdrawal bleed. And I'm not a medical professional, so I don't want to go into any kind of technicality, but basically I knew that, like, if it's not really a real period anyway, then technically I can skip it and it doesn't even matter. And that is how I continued from about age 17 to about age 24. At around age 24, I got a bit more into natural kind of things and thinking about what was best for my body. I'd heard about some side effects of the pill, and I decided that I no longer wanted to be on the pill for the time being, so I came off it. And that was a personal decision for me that anyone contemplating should definitely discuss with their health professional. But for me, I decided to come off the pill. As a result, what happened was I could now no longer control my period, which, after having control over it for so long, was quite daunting. I had to, I'd have to have my period whenever it came, which for people who've never been on the pill, they'll be like, whatever, Ellie, like, that is, not really an issue, that's life. But that is what the situation was. It wasn't so much a problem until it all came to a head when I was planning a trip overseas. I was going on a month-long Kentucky trip, and when you're going anywhere for a month, guess what's coming with you? Your period. So I just thought, like, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go back on the pill just so I can stop my period for this one trip, but also, like, I don't want to be on a Kentucky tour bus traveling through America for long hours at a time and have my period and be wearing a pad and feeling all gross, or wearing a tampon and not knowing when I can take it out and change it next. I just thought, like, there has got to be something better than these only two options of pads or tampons. Like, there's gotta be a better way. So I went on a bit of a mission to find, or basically like just did a Google search. I think in my research I came across a menstrual cup. Now, a menstrual cup is a bit of a foreign concept if you haven't heard of it before, but basically, I'll do another video on it, but basically it looks like this. There's so many different types. You can get like bright pink ones or clear ones. It's like a silicone cup that folds, and you fold it and you can insert it and it pops open and catches your menstrual fluid rather than absorbing it like a tampon. The good thing about a menstrual cup is that you can actually keep it inside for longer than a tampon. So depending on the manufacturer and depending on your health professional, what they recommend you can actually keep it in for up to like 10 to 12 hours, which is obviously awesome for traveling, especially on Kentucky buses. So I found this menstrual cup, I bought it online, got it shipped to me, and I had it packed in my suitcase ready to go for my trip. Only a couple of days in, I got my period, and I was in the Grand Canyon at the time, and I decided to give the menstrual cup a go. But if you've ever heard about menstrual cups, like, it can take some getting used to. So doing it in a cabin that you're sharing with a girl you've only just met is probably not the best time to try and learn how to use a menstrual cup. But that's what I did, and I didn't really get the hang of it, but you know, the intention was there. So that is my story of how I discovered menstrual cups. It took a few cycles to get used to it, so after I came back from my trip, I'd use it again and again, and I finally got used to it, and I could just without a doubt say that my period experience improved so much from being able to use the cup. You can put it in, basically just put it in the morning, go to work, go to school, whatever, come home, empty it. It's like you just completely forget about it, and you can put it in at night time again, wear it overnight, and then empty it in the morning. You can really just forget that you have your period at all. I understand though, and I was the same, like, because I grew up, when I first got my period, like, I just always would use pads and I never wanted to use tampons, and I still, even as an adult, didn't really want to use tampons at all. And I completely understand that some people don't really like having something inside them for their period, like they'd prefer to have an external management method, which is where period underwear comes in. So period underwear is underwear that includes like an absorbent layer, and I'll do a video on this as well. But basically, so many different styles now, and there's like an absorbent layer, different thicknesses depending on your flow or the absorbency that you need, and you can actually wear it standalone for your period. Like, you don't have to wear a pad or a tampon, you can just wear that underwear. So when I discovered menstrual cups and period underwear, I was just blown away with how much better it made my period experience. And not only that, but there was just so much potential, like, it's so much better for the environment as well. And then there's the potential for people who otherwise might not have access to disposable period products. There's potential that they can use a cup if they have access to the sanitation required to clean it properly. And also the same with period underwear. So for me, the whole journey to a better period has been really exciting. I love talking about reusable period products and just spreading the message about them to everyone, in the hope that they will give them a try, because it can really lead you to a better period experience. So that is my period story. That's what led me to the better period. I would love to hear about you, what your period story is, when you first got your period, what your memories are. Maybe you haven't got your period yet, or maybe you only just got it, or maybe you've had it for many years and you're still hating it. What are you doing to help improve your period experience? Have you tried a menstrual cup? Have you tried period underwear? I would love to hear about it, so please leave a comment below. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will be sure to do more. I think that's me for today. So great to have you here. Thank you for listening to me jibber jabber about my period story. I will see you in my next video. See ya!